Namaskar, this is Firstpost and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. Today is Tuesday, 7th November. Do you remember what happened on 7th October? It was a Saturday. We were here at work, tracking in horror what was happening some 4,000 kilometers away. Israel had been attacked. With every passing hour, the death toll went up. Israel's legendary defense force stood exposed on that day. They took what seemed like forever to respond. But once they started, they did not stop. It's been 32 days. They've been pounding Gaza, razing the strip and killing more than 10,300 people. In the early days, the world stood in support for Israel. But as the civilian casualties rose, the support eroded. Their biggest ally, America, has been calling for a humanitarian pause for a while. Finally, Prime Minister Netanyahu has said he is open to the idea. He's also hinted that Israel may occupy Gaza. Meanwhile, Iran's president is said to be traveling to Saudi Arabia to discuss the war. We'll join the dots for you to see where things stand more than a month since this war began. In other news, Democrats apparently want Joe Biden to not run for president again. China is the world's biggest debt collector with over $1 trillion of loans. How the smog is choking brand India. How the Myanmar junta is in a fix. And is Tesla finally coming to India? All this and more coming up. The headlines first. Top US officials head to the Indo-Pacific. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin will arrive in India on Friday to meet their Indian counterparts for the 2+2 dialogue. The visit comes as the US juggles conflicts in Europe, West Asia and the Indo-Pacific. After weeks of protests, Bangladesh hikes minimum wage for garment workers by 56%, but the unions have rejected it, saying they want 3 times this rise. Bangladesh's garment industry hires over 4 million people and accounts for 85% of its annual exports. India's Supreme Court bans firecrackers across the country. The ban comes right ahead of the festival of Diwali, but firecrackers are not the biggest reason behind the deteriorating air quality. The main causes are said to be stubble burning and industrial emissions. Co-working space company WeWork files for bankruptcy in the US. It was once the world's most valuable startup, but bad financial decisions and the pandemic led to the downfall of WeWork. And Switzerland's largest bank, UBS, posts its first quarterly loss since 2017. It reported a loss of $785 million in the third quarter. It was linked to the bank's takeover of its former rival, Credit Suisse.